Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Better Than Yesterday podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Cosentino. But before we get started, I want to ask a question. And I want you to actually think about it before you dive into this episode. And that is, does your life actually feel good? Do you love the things happening in your life? Do you love the things that you're building in your life? Do you love your habits, your routines, all of it? Not does your life actually feel good in the sense of, I have a routine and I'm hitting my goals and I should be happy. But I mean, when you wake up in the morning, are you excited? Does your life actually feel like yours? Do you feel like you have a purpose? What I've noticed is so many of us are working so hard, building, optimizing, checking boxes, and we're doing all the right things. The morning routine, the gym, the vision board, the job. And then we take a step back and something just still feels off. Like you're still not, you might be motivated for a little while, but then you get like, you hit that stump of like, what am I doing? Do I actually want to do this? And it's like, you can't put your finger on it. You can't name it. And I think I know why, because we've all been there. And we were never taught to design a life that feels good. We were taught to build a life that looks good, that makes sense to other people, and that fits the timeline we thought we were supposed to follow. And it's supposed to look like the person you see on the internet or your neighbor down the street, or you're supposed to be married by your 25, have kids, buy a house, work a 9 to 5. And it's like, that is what we're supposed to have. And so many people follow that. That is what this episode is all about. I'm talking about how to design a life that actually feels good. It's not perfect. It's not aesthetic. It's not impressive. It's just genuinely, deeply yours. We're getting into why your life might feel off, even when it looks right. What a life that actually feels good requires, how to start designing it without blowing everything up, and how to protect it once you do. I think this one is going to resonate with a lot of people, so get comfortable and let's get into this week's dose. What I'm consuming, I don't watch a lot of TV, and it's so hard to find a show that I like to watch. I don't like shows that stress me out and give me anxiety, because like I get overwhelmed and like my blood is flowing, and like then I try and go to sleep and it's like does not work. So my boyfriend and we try so hard to find a show that we like and we want to watch together. I watched season 1 of Running Point like when it first came out, and season 2 just came out, and I got Rob hooked on it, and it is so good. So we have been binge watching Running Point. I've also really been into some different podcasts. The Skinny Confidential like rebranded to the Bossnicks, and they've had some really good guests. And another is Mel Robbins. I know we all love Mel Robbins. We all love the Let Them theory, but she had a podcast or an episode come out maybe last week, and I'll get into this in the what I'm loving or what I'm working on, but Mel Robbins, and then The Toast. I used to listen to The Toast like once in a while, but lately I've just not wanted to listen to music like when I'm at work or when I get home from work and I'm like picking up the house or like doing a bunch of different things. I've been loving listening to a podcast, so I've been listening to The Toast, and they're just hilarious. Next is what I'm working on, and since we are in the first week of May, I'm working on my May goals, what I want this month to look like, what do I want to accomplish, vision board, so to speak, of the month. And next is creating your own luck. And this is from the Mel Robbins podcast. I never really thought about it like this. Like, you think some people are just so lucky. They get the job opportunities, they get the they just get so many things and you're like, wow, they're so lucky. But you don't know like the work that they're putting in. Like, did they reach out to this person to get this opportunity? Like, what did they do? Creating your own luck, you're putting yourself in those opportunities. You're putting yourself into those situations where something might come up. Next is what I'm loving. And I have been just like mindlessly scrolling on Amazon, trying to find some like good deals, good things happening. So, my what I'm loving is freaking Amazon and really just like getting outside. It's been kind of crappy here in Wilmington, the weather. So any chance I can get outside and be in the sunshine, I'm doing it because we haven't seen the sun in a while. And we're going to the beach this weekend, so I'm super, super excited for that. Let's dive into the episode. And point number one is why your life might not feel good even when it looks good. And the difference between a life that looks right and a life that feels right is a life that looks right is the typical life that everybody wants you to live. It's the white picket fence, the job, the car, the husband, the family, and that's like what your life should look like. But a life that feels right is you wake up and you're so excited to do the things that you love. You feel fulfilled at the end of the day of like, wow, like today was really good. I did X, Y, and Z that I love to do. And trying to figure out the difference between what your life should look like versus a life that feels right is something that we are going to talk about. We are taught to optimize our lives for appearance. What looks good on the outside to other people? What is going to satisfy other people? And that's the issue. That is the issue. We are not here to satisfy other people's lives. You are here to serve yourself and to serve the life that you are building. You can hit every goal and still feel empty. I've been there. Like I've done, I've lost all this weight and I thought like, oh, losing all this weight, like my life is just gonna like be complete. And yes, it's been something that I've struggled with my entire life. Finally getting over that hump, it's like, dang. But when you're told that you can't wait for life to happen to you, like you have to go after it. And I always thought that my weight held me back from the things that I want to accomplish. And yes, losing the weight was great, but what else is going to fulfill me? What more do I want out of my life than just trying to fit into this one size and be what looks good on paper? The dangerous trap that you can fall into is building someone else's version of a good life without realizing it. It's not fulfilling for you. You don't need to be a size 0 to have a fulfilling life. And that goes with every situation that you have. You don't need to have this perfect life to go after what you want. You don't need to have it all together to achieve the things that you want to achieve. While you're working towards that bigger goal, you'll probably hit these other little goals that you have set out to do. So, what a life that feels good actually requires, and it's knowing what you actually want, not what you think you should want. That might be kind of hard to, sometimes you don't know what you want in your life. You just have to start small and start, well, I want to start working out the way that I want to work out. You start making that little change. Or I want to start waking up early to do this. Or I want to get this job because this is going to help fulfill this passion that I've always had. Those small changes are going to lead you to that bigger purpose and help you start designing the life that you actually want. 3 non-negotiables for a life that feels good is alignment. Your daily actions match your actual values. Next is space. You need room to breathe, to rest, and just exist without performing. That is why I love my slow morning routines, getting up before anybody else, Yes, it's annoying having to get up so early, but having that space for myself in the mornings is my non-negotiable and something that I absolutely love to do. Last is intention. Nothing should be on autopilot. Everything should be a choice and something that you want to do. Yes, your routines can eventually go on autopilot. That is kind of the goal of a routine, that you just like kind of automatically do that. But your routine has to be something that you want, what you want your routine to look like. You don't need this whole perfect life. You just need a life that feels like yours and feels like something that you're proud of and you're excited to wake up in the morning. You don't get the Sunday scaries. You don't sit at your desk on Monday and wish it was Friday. Like, you don't wish the week away. You are living each day so happy, so fulfilled, because this is what you want your life to look like. Something that you should do every once in a while is probably every month, I would say, is ask yourself, does this feel like me? Run through your current routines, your relationships and habits with that one question. And if it's not something that you want or that feels like you, take a step back and rework that routine, rework that relationship. Or if somebody isn't aligning with you anymore, sorry, get rid of them, you know? You have the power to change anything that you want in your life. And I know this is kind of getting off on a tangent, but this is my biggest pet peeve. When people bitch and complain about the things in their lives and they don't do anything to change it, that is my biggest frustration, because you have the power to create the life that you want. If it's something that you're miserable, wash your hands of it, change it, get it out of your life. Like, I think that's, like, I've moved so many times in since college. I moved to Raleigh, then I moved to Florida, and then I moved back to Raleigh, and then I moved to Wilmington, and I've moved apartments like every year. And it's just because, like, oh, I'm over this apartment, like I want to experience something different. So I move. And if it's not something that is fulfilling you anymore, then so be it. Change it up. Um that's like when I moved here to Wilmington, I found this apartment. I'm like, oh, this apartment is great. Love it. Probably going to stay here for a few years. Like, I don't want to move again. And here we are at the end of my lease and I'm moving again, because I have lived in this apartment for almost a year and there are certain things that I want out of an apartment, or the location. I'm just in a part of town where the traffic is just insane. So I don't like this part of my life. So I am going to change it because it's something that I want to do. Yes, it's a pain in the ass, but sometimes things in life are a pain in the ass. So you have the power to create anything that you want in your life and change it if you don't like it. So, point number 3 is, how do you actually start designing the life that you desire? Like I said before, you don't overhaul everything at once. You start with one area. You start with one aspect of it. Start making the little changes on, okay, so I don't like this. How am I going to change it? What am I going to do? Or what can I do that is going to make me enjoy this? Or if it's not something that you want, completely erase it. So start with one area. And once you get going with that and you get started, and you start seeing the flow with that, then you can start adding in another aspect of something that you want to change. The areas that you can look at first, are how you spend your mornings, how you spend your energy, who do you spend your time with, what takes up most of your time every single day, what's holding you back from doing the things that you say that you're going to do and you never do it. If you start looking at like the smaller parts, like I just said, it's going to be easier to kind of overhaul the things that aren't resonating with you anymore and aren't meant for you anymore. The design process is, let's say you don't love your morning routine. Identify what in that routine feels off. Get honest about why it feels off. and make an intentional swap. If you aren't loving meditating in the morning, why you're going to force yourself to meditate in the morning? Find a different version of that you actually enjoy. And I don't like meditating. I can't shut this brain off for longer than 20 seconds. So meditating is really hard for me, and I found something, activations I can listen to in the morning, and they pump me up. They get me thinking. They help me work through something that has been bothering me. I have talked about these so many times on the podcast. I also listen to them on my walks. Like I listen to them like the other morning. So lately, like if I have a few drinks, I can feel like my body like working off the alcohol, and I hate that feeling. Hate that feeling. We went to dinner Saturday night. I had two margaritas. And then we went to this other bar and I had a Miller Lite. And then we came home. I woke up at we went to bed at midnight, I think, which way past the bedtime. I woke up at 3 a.m. wide awake because I can feel my body working off this alcohol. I'm getting hot and it's this is not good. So I put on an activation, really quiet so my boyfriend wouldn't hear it. And I had it right next to my ear. Probably not the best thing to do, but and I just had that going and it put me right back to sleep, and it was just felt so good. So weird tangent, but find something that works for you. To sum this all up is you just need small redesigns and have those redesigns compound. You don't need to overhaul every single thing in your life. You just need a series of small intentional choices that will help you propel you forward and make the changes that you want to change. Point number 4 is the last point that I'm going to make, and that is protecting the life that you are building. Designing the life that feels good is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice that you have to do every single day. What gets in the way is comparison, other people's opinions, losing sight of your own values, overthinking and getting in your head about, well, this doesn't look like this person's, or why am I doing this if this isn't bringing me joy? You can't compare yourself, and you just have to figure out what you want. And biggest thing, you cannot let other people's opinions get in your head, because they aren't living the life that you want. One way that you can protect it, kind of come back and reflect and ask, does this feel like me? Is this resonating with who I want to be or the things that I want to do? You need to question that regularly and have that audit more than you think you should. The identity piece, and you have to start seeing yourself as somebody who gets to have the life that feels good. You have to start believing in yourself and getting rid of that self-doubt that you can have the life that you want, and you have the power to change that. You are allowed to want a life that actually feels good. You are allowed to build it now. You don't have to wait until you lose the weight or you have X amount of money in the bank account. You can do anything that you desire right now. You should not wait for the perfect time, because it's never going to be the perfect time. Start changing the things that you hate about your life. So the listener challenge this week, I want you to pick one thing in your life this week and ask yourself, is this something that I like? Is this something that is mine, that I want? Or did I just inherit it from a neighbor, from my coworker, from somebody I saw on the internet? Send me over a DM about your answer on Instagram at BTY with Jenna. I want to hear what you guys are changing or what you think that isn't resonating with your life anymore. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow, you subscribe, you give me a rating. Send this to somebody who you think needs that permission to want more out of their life and to change the life that they have. Final takeaway is stop optimizing a life that you've never designed. You are allowed to build something that actually feels like you. Go ahead, get after it, and start changing your life. And I will see you guys next week for a fun episode with a fun special guest. We are going to talk about building a business in your 20s and how to navigate all the things that come with that. So I will talk to you guys and have a good week.